What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So, who is nailing Sarah Palin? Well, the voters yesterday nailed her and her congressional bid to the unemployment line as Mary Peltola, I believe I pronounced it correct. I'm going to look at it again. Mary Peltola, a Democrat, won the lone congressional seat in Alaska for a Democrat for the first time in some 50 years. And she won in a new system that Alaskan voters approved of back in 2020. It's a new ranking system where the lower tier voters, it's almost like an elimination thing, like an elimination process where if there are 6 candidates, the lowest ranking person gets eliminated until the 50% threshold is made by one candidate. In the next to last round, I think his name was, what was the former, I think he was a former congressman, was it Mark Begich? I think his name is Mark Begich. He was eliminated. He was in third place behind Sarah Palin, who had 34% or something, and Mary Peltola had 38%, but she didn't reach that 50% threshold. So the final round was between Peltola and Sarah Palin, and Peltola edged out Sarah Palin 51.5% to 48.5%. So that's going to be a switch from Republican to Democratic, all right? And that's big in Alaska because after Alaska has been sort of a, you know, the funny thing, when Alaska and Hawaii were admitted as states back in 1959, it was projected at the time that Alaska would be a Democratic state and Hawaii would be a Republican state. Because at those particular times, minorities were still sort of voting majority Republican. But of course, that changed due to the civil rights movement and other factors. Hawaii has become a heavily Democratic state, especially since the 1970s, late 60s, whereas Alaska has become a heavily Republican state. Once a swing state that leaned Republican in the 60s, and since the 1970s has been a heavily Republican state. But some of these things have changed over the last few years. For instance, I believe Biden got well over 40% of the vote in 2020. And this is an indication that Alaska is beginning to swing ever so slowly but surely to the Democratic column. Anyway, this seat was a special election to fill the void left by the death of Don Young, longtime Republican in the state of Alaska. He died several months ago at the age of 88, I believe it was. So, this is another indication that this red wave that was so anticipated may not materialize. And of course, you got Republicans bitching about the system, crying about the system, saying, oh, this is a flawed system. Look, the Alaskan voters approved of this system. I am sick and fucking tired of Republicans and their sore loser crybaby asses, okay? Why didn't you fucking cry about this before the process? Why do you wait until the results to start crying? You punk ass, crybaby ass, punk motherfuckers. Nobody likes a sore loser when we was kids. We couldn't stand playing with those motherfuckers. I gotta take my ball and go home. Well, fuck you and your ball. Shove that bitch up your ass. So at the end of the day, you lost. Period. Respect the process. Sarah Palin is pathetic. You know, they haven't forgotten. Sarah Palin was a horrible governor. Very unpopular. She tried to come back. She tried to sneak her way into the house and build some career. Nope, motherfucker, we ain't forget. We ain't forget you, Sarah Palin. So just wanted to go ahead and deliver that news to you guys. Tell me what you guys think.